I had a friend of mine who called me up this week, and I see this friend maybe once every 2 or 3 years. And he was a good friend. He and I went to Crenshaw Christian Center before, about 21 years ago. He came by, he called me up this week, and he said, I want to get with you. I need some of your time. I need to tell you something. So I need about 2 or 3 hours of your time on Saturday. I was thinking, 2 or 3 hours? I know I haven't seen you in 2 years, but come on, man. But I said, all right. So long story short, he came by, and it could have taken 3 hours, but it took 2. He told me, he said, you know me well enough to know that I've been trying to do all I can to find God. I read the Bible. He and I was just so committed to the church. I read the Bible. I get up every morning. I pray. I do everything. He said, if any one person has done all it takes to find God, I'm that person. And he said, I never was able to find him. He said, when I would go to church, we would have those breakfasts, or if he went out with couples at the church, they would get into divorces, or they were fighting, the men were weak, and he saw that even in relationships at this particular church, that they were not working. Like the brothers and sisters were not working in their marriages and things like that. And he told me that about 3 or 4 years ago, he had spiral meningitis. You know what that is, right? Spinal meningitis. And that, when you get that, it cripples your whole body. Everything stops functioning in the body. And so he had that. And he was in a coma for a while, 3 days, I think. I forgot how long, but he was in a coma for a while. And he came out of the coma, and his whole body had shut down. And he couldn't function. So he had to resign from his job, so he can't work, because everything shut down. And the doctor had predicted that he was going to die. They told him that most people that get that, they don't survive. And he said that, so he left the hospital, long story short, went home, and he was just confined to the bed. Couldn't even get up to use the bathroom or anything, so his mother and sister had to take care of him. And he said that it prevented him from going to church or anything. And long story short, because he could not leave his room or leave the house, couldn't go to church, he lost his hearing too. He get like a ringing in the head, like, I guess it caused that kind of problem. Now he can hear a little better. He has those ear things on. But he said that the one thing that happened to him, because he was confined to his home, could not talk to anybody, that time alone by himself caused him to realize that his problem was that he hated his mother. And he said he lived with his mother. He's like 50-some years old, still living with his mother, right? He said the thing that kept him from finding God was that he had no love, and he was never told that he had no love. The preachers didn't say it, and no one. But God allowed him to see that he hated his mother. And he said at 3 years old, his mother became ill and was unable to take care of him and his sisters, and he resented her for that. But he said that when he saw that he resented his mother, it set him free. And he said now he said, you know what, I don't even have to read the Bible anymore. He's like, the foremost thing for me now is love. I didn't know I didn't have love. I thought I had love, but I had hatred. Now I have love. And he said that whenever I even think about what I want, God just does it for me just like that. He just does it. And his body is now healing. He can now walk. They had said he wasn't going to even survive. He's now walking and driving, and he's coming alive again because he's gotten rid of that hatred that he had in his heart. And he discovered this without anyone telling him that. But because he had a desire to know the truth, God, and he had this time by himself, not distracted by anything else. And he was telling me that he had listened to some tapes about other preachers and things, but when he wasn't able to hear anything or do anything, that's when he discovered that he had anger in his heart for his mother. And God took it away, and now he can live again. Isn't that amazing? Yes. And I say all that to say that you need love. Love, perfect love, is the answer to life. It's everything. And the problem is, he even said to me, you know, I hate to say it, Jesse, but these preachers are not doing, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand. They don't know how to, a simple thing like love, they don't even know how to bring you to that point. They don't even talk about the hatred that we have for our families and how we need perfect love because they don't see it. Right? And you know what happened? This is another thing I want to add. I had to sit there 2 long hours to hear this boy tell me all this stuff. 2 hours. And the devil trying to tell me to jump in and say this and do that, you know, ride on it, add my little stuff. I couldn't do it. There was something there that would not let me do it. I just had to hear him out. And he was so filled with joy and telling the story, he was just boo-hooing and everything. You know how when you cry, Mama liked to hug you and pat you on the back? Yes. I just sat there and looked at him cry and go through everything he had to go through in that 2 hours. And it blessed me like nothing else before. But it's the love that people need, and they don't have it. Most people don't have love. And that's what the problem is. That's why I said if you have any little anger in your heart at all, you're separated from God. You have fear, you have doubt, you're uncertain, you don't have peace. This guy has peace now that he never had before because he was forced. He told me, thank God for this disease. He was happy that, he was like, it took all that for God to get me alone so I could just hear from him and stop all my other stuff I was trying to do. Isn't that amazing? You need love. Yes, sir.
I love that story.
Yeah.
That just freed me from feeling like I had to depend on the Bible in some way. Yeah. I'm not a big Bible reader. But
and this person is a Bible, and he's my dear friend, but he is a Bible thumper. And for him to say, I don't even need the Bible anymore, I already know it now. I know the truth. It was something else to hear that.
But, I did feel like at some level having a crutch of the Bible, of somehow needing to go to it to get well. And also for a long time I wondered, why I'm not better physically.
Yeah.
I've tried in many different ways to feel better, so I need less sleep. I tend to need a lot of sleep. And I said, well, I don't think I should need so much sleep because then I can't live my life fully the way I want. I can't be with my son. I can't do lots of things. But I seem to need too much sleep. But, you really just kind of answered the question there because it's a lack of love. And I've been thinking about this love for a while.
Yeah.
And it's really, when you said it is the answer, I totally believe that.
It is the answer.
It's a lack of love that's caused my other issues in my life.
That's right. And I know people who are into taking all kind of stuff, health food stuff and vitamins, and they're bloated, and they really think all this stuff is going to make them create a good body. Now, you should eat right. You should eat right. I'm not saying you should eat right. When you have love, you will grow to eat right anyway. But it's the lack of perfect love that is bringing on all these problems. This man is coming back to health. He's coming out of a situation where the doctors had told them that most people die from it. They're surprised he's living. And he discovered that it was a lack of love. And he reminded me of how the Bible says that some people he gave to teach, prophesy, preach, and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't have love, none of that stuff is worth anything. It's nothing. And that's the problem, folks. You don't have love.
Yes, that's right.
And if you have fear, if you have doubt, if you have worries, if you're insecure, if you're empty, if you're looking for love for someone else, or in your things and in this and all that, you don't have love. Now, you may feel that emotional stuff, but that's not love. That's going to get you to hell real fast.
For more information or to purchase a copy of this show, visit us on the web at www.bondinfo.org or call 1-800-411-BOND.